Welcome everyone to episode 7 of Footy and That. My name's Chris and I'm with Al. Are you all right?
I am. I'm good, thank you.
And Sam, are you all right?
Good, thanks.
Good. So at the moment on the quiz then, Sam's now taken a commanding 3-1 lead over you, Al, and then me on 0.
Shameful.
Well, this week's been a bit chaotic in the world of football, hasn't it? A few changes of manager and appointments, and I would say Champions League. Shall we start off with?
Yep.
Did anybody see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
What were your thoughts of it? Oh,
It wasn't as exciting a game as we'd perhaps hoped for, but then sometimes these aren't, because you've got a team who are very good at defending in Arsenal and a team that are very good in attacking in PSG, and kind of cancelled each other out a little bit. And, you know, I think the right team won in the end. You kind of expect PSG to win a game like that against, with how good they are at the moment. But, yeah, well played to Arsenal, though, for getting to the final. There's a lot of people, like, taking the piss, and it's like, but they have won the Premier League and got to a final. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, same. I think maybe Arsenal were a little bit, once they got the goal, they could have maybe been a bit more
aggressive.
Just a little bit, though. I think some people are saying, they just shut up shop after that, but I don't think they did. I think they just...
They played the way that they
their
would
game
play.
plan anyway, to let PSG have a bit more of the ball anyway, so...
I mean, what did you think of Arteta dropping Gyökeres, didn't he, for the start?
Well, to be honest,
Havertz.
when he came on, he was kind of useless. No offense. I think that's the difference. Is like PSG brought on Barcola, who admittedly missed a couple of, but like the way he absolutely like steamrolled it past what's his name, Saliba. Like Saliba doesn't get caught out that often, but he got absolutely like the difference in speed there seemed embarrassing. Whereas Arsenal bringing on Gyökeres and Madueke and Martinelli, not quite
the same.
Yeah. And to be fair, 2 of those players they bought in the summer, which is a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was my thoughts. I mean, obviously, with him being dropped from such a big game, is there question marks on whether he's going to be the number 1 striker next year? Is that an area, do you think, that they might have to look at getting a bit more competition at the top?
I think probably, but it's easier said than done, isn't it? It's to get a striker is just the hardest thing in the game, basically. Because what you got to pay in general is so much. And the chance if you get it right often is so like slim. Right? I look at like Leicester. We had Vardy for so long because it was kind of like anyone else you're bringing in. It's like, well, they're better than Vardy. Just like no.
Yeah.
And you have to still pay like 25-30 million for someone, in our day. Whereas you're looking, there's somewhere like Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal. Man United all spent like 75 odd million on strikers, and you'd say probably none of them have like.
I'd probably only say Ekatike looked good out of all those strikers.
Don't forget the old 120 million on Isaac. Thank you very much.
And he's looked good. He has looked good.
Yeah. Well, he's at least proven himself a little bit in the past in the Premier League, but he got injured too, and he didn't really have a pre-season. So maybe you give him a bit of a, and you give them all a bit of a break because they're all coming to the new league. But
yeah, you kind of think that next season. I mean, like as a Newcastle fan, and with Wissa, how he's not he was injured and then he's been poor, but he's not been really given a chance. He's not had a run in the first team, and I personally think as a Newcastle fan, he should be starting next season up front because he's proved that he can do it. Yeah. And I remember the goal, one of the goals he scored. Well, I think the only goal he scored for Newcastle. It was very Isak-esque when he was playing for Newcastle, like kind of, Fox in the box, like he's gonna he's going to be in the right place at the right time. So I generally think, as you say, Sam, all these strikers that have come into the Premier League or have moved clubs, you've got to give them a bit of time, and next season we'll probably see, a completely different story.
Yeah. One question I got to say is, with the penalty shootout, number 1 point, stuttering penalties.
No.
What
Shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Eze as well. He did that.
He's trying to make the keeper move, and because the keeper's just gone, I'm just going to stand here. Then I guess he's got to the ball, and he's like, "Oh, what do I do?" And he's trying to, So
he did a stuttering penalty. Was it last year for Palace where it went straight to the keeper?
Did it?
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, and I know that's what he's done because I've seen clips, I think, on social media of him doing it when it was at QPR as well. But I just can't. But I just can't think of any worse time for anyone to decide to do a stuttering penalty, unless you do it well, obviously.
Yeah.
And then another major question mark I thought was Gabriel going at number 5, because that's normally where you put your better penalty takers, really, isn't it? Where
I
think by that point they kind of run out of players, haven't they? So most players you'd want to take a penalty had already left.
Yeah, and again,
Saka, probably Havertz would have took one, maybe.
Yeah. Well, apparently here's a stat that because it wasn't on terrestrial TV, that apparently 16.2 million people illegally streamed it.
But they should have put it on terrestrial TV. They should have. It's a final. It should be on terrestrial TV.
Yeah, I think they missed out on a real trick there,
Yeah. Because the money that they'd make from advertising revenue surely would have sort of made up for that.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you? You really wouldn't. But obviously one team didn't win, but as we were recording last week, Palace won 1-0, didn't they?
Yeah, that was nice to see.
Which was nice for them. So they're now in the not Conference League. That's what they won, wasn't it? Europa League, isn't it?
Yeah, Europa League.
UEFA Cup. Just call it
yes,
UEFA
Cup. Yeah. They won the Cup Winners' Cup, didn't they? Obviously, a few manager shifts around and appointments. So go on then. What do you reckon then? Arne Slot getting sacked. What did you reckon to that? I'll go with you on that one first.
I think it's incredibly harsh. I think one of the reasons I've sacked him is because of Mo Salah. I think Mo Salah's had a poor season, and he's thrown his toys out of the pram a little bit by blaming Arne Slot. But are we forgetting that Arne Slot won the league with them the season before? I know it was the same team that that
Klopp did. Yeah.
Klopp had the season before, but you've still got to go and do it. You look at Leicester when they won the league; it was pretty much the same team as Pearson had the season before when they were nearly relegated, and then they went and won the league. So I think it's because of that. I think if he hadn't had a falling out with Salah, and I think there's rumours at the minute, isn't there, that Salah might change his mind and sign another contract at Liverpool or stay at Liverpool, and you think, have they done this so they can go, oh, let's keep Salah for another season? But Salah's not the player he was a few seasons back. And it's always nice. You've got that rose-tinted glasses of, oh, yeah, he's going to be brilliant again, but he's not going to be the player he was. And I think getting rid of Slot, especially because they had quite a transitional year, they sold some decent players and they obviously lost Jota, as well. Awful circumstances. But he's bringing in players that, Bert started to show what he could do. Ekatike got injured. Isak got injured. They had a lot of injuries. I think it's harsh, to be honest. It was an aging team as well, wasn't it? You look at Van Dijk as well at the back. They lost, didn't have Trent Alexander-Arnold anymore. Robertson's getting older. The right and left back weren't quite up to scratch. It's harsh.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they sold Konza as well, which did surprise me, to be honest. But I guess that was part of the Wirtz deal, maybe. That just wasn't connected to it. Guess so they've played a bit of financial fair play, I guess. I personally think the style of football wasn't great to watch.
Yeah.
Because it was very territorial based. but I would have given him another season. I know people are probably going to shout at me over that, but they still got in the Champions League.
Yeah.
They needed to sort bits and pieces out, but I just think that a lot of chairmen on, like you said, something must have gone on inside. But if it's just on results, yeah, they've lost a hell of a lot of games. But I think probably giving him another summer because he won the championship the first season. But again, it's such a cutthroat thing now, isn't it? Manager, that a lot of chairmen like to change, don't they, quite quickly? And I think there's a few boos, wasn't there, after a few of the games as well.
Yeah,
I think the quality wasn't great, so I think they were probably looking at it in that way as well. That the fans, if they start to lose the support of the fans, then
it
could be in a bit of trouble. What do you think there, Sam?
Well, that's what I heard is like Liverpool fans tend to sort of back their managers, and if they're booing him, then it's kind of like, yeah. But they did, like, I think I heard as late as like Sunday, they were still saying, yeah, he's staying. Like people who I've heard who have said they have insiders and that, like, yeah, he's still staying, and then suddenly maybe they just suddenly saw Iraola's available when he's interested. Maybe they just thought, let's just get him before anyone else does, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? If another manager becomes available, sometimes they're just going to take that, aren't they?
I mean, he did seem like almost too much of a nice guy as well. Started.
Yeah.
Right. You never really saw him ever really animated or angry, did you? And that's probably what you need, that sort of a bit of bite, especially when things aren't going great. What do you reckon then, Iraola, then? How do you think he'll go, Al?
I mean, he's a good manager. He's a very good manager. But I think didn't you say you put something on a group chat that was like, feels a bit like a Brandon Rodgers appointment?
Yeah, and
where he's done well somewhere, or a little bit like who was the other bloke from Fulham, England manager, Roy Hodgson.
Yeah,
could it be a little bit of a Roy Hodgson?
I'll explain the reasons why with that is because it's a big step going from being, up in the top 8 to then suddenly got fans expecting, top 3. And Iraola's done fantastically well with a budget that's been quite mediocre. And he's managed to sell players for a profit and then bring in new ones and played a good style of football. But he's always been on where when he's faced a top team, he's been the underdog. So it's a different thing if you're a manager where you're actually the favourite to win, with all due respect to any of the other clubs, 70 to 80% of the games. And I don't know how he will fit onto that and how he will change his way of managing to fit that. And with people's egos as well, it's pretty, it must be pretty difficult. I remember though the Brendan Rodgers thing. Didn't he have a Channel 5 fly on the wall thing?
Oh, did he?
Well, I think he kicked off with Trent on one of the episodes. This was when he first joined, and I think it was a bit of a nightmare. I might be right, but
I think it was Sterling, wasn't it?
Sterling, sorry. Yeah, it's Sterling. That was the one. Yeah. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see with that. So Carrick then is now, he's obviously now manager now, isn't he, officially? And he's already made a signing of Edison from Atalanta then.
Yeah, that's gone through today, isn't it? Or yesterday?
Yeah, defensive midfielder. So I guess that's a Casemiro replacement.
I mean, good luck to him. You worry that it might be another Solskjaer, but not me worrying. I don't care. But
secret Man United fan?
Yeah, secret Man United fan there. Probably the right decision. I don't know who else they'd get in, really.
Yeah. And then obviously, finally, I see that Alonso's looking to have his first signing a left back by the sound of things from Juventus, Andrea Cambasso. Never really heard of him.
Full on manager, not head coach. So I think he's going to have say over transfers, which is
Interesting for Chelsea, isn't it? Very much so. Well, I just thought for the next bit, we'll just have a quick review of the year, give each Premier League team a rating out of 10, and just go from there before the quiz starts. So we'll start off with, obviously, an alphabetical order. So that would make the first one Aston Villa? No, it wouldn't. Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
No.
Oh, yeah.
AFC Bournemouth.
Or AFC Bournemouth.
Oh, go on then. We'll start with Bournemouth. Go on then. What do you reckon then? We'll go with you first there, Sam. How do you reckon they did?
Probably an 8, maybe a 7.5.
Yeah,
I think they've done really incredibly well to get in Europe, but
yeah,
the Champions League was not impossible. Like, I watched the game a few weeks ago when they drew with Man City, and at the end of the game, their fans are like cheering, and I get it because you sort of like you've denied Man City the title and stuff like that, and that's half of what football sports about, is having a go at the opposition. But I did think at the time, was like you've probably just blown your chances to get in Champions League.
Yeah. What do you reckon now?
Yeah, sorry.
To be honest, I'd give them a 10 because I think finishing 6th when they were one of the relegation favourites at the start of the season, I think they've been brilliant. I agree with Sam. I think they've messed it up a little bit at the end when they could have caught Liverpool because Liverpool didn't have a great season. So, but 6th place is brilliant for a team like Bournemouth.
Yeah, and obviously they've now got a new manager as well. Have to wait and see how he gets on there. But yeah, it's only 3 points behind Liverpool. Yeah, I'll give them a solid 9, to be honest. But that Krupi as well, he seems a very good buy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Next one, we've got to go with Arsenal then.
10. They won the league.
Yeah.
You know, maybe 9.5 because they didn't win the Champions League, but
yeah,
they've done something that they've been trying to do for a long time now, and they've finally did. And fair play for them to sticking with Arteta for as long as they have. You know, they've been notorious bottle jobs for a while, but it worked out in the end. And I think they've got the strongest team going into next season, unless something major happens in the transfer market. I can see them retaining the title next season.
Oof,
especially if they invest.
That's a real statement to make there, Al. What about you there, Sam? What do you reckon?
If you're talking just the Premier League, it's got to be a 10 because they finally won the league. But they did lose 2 finals, though maybe a little disappointed at that. I think particularly the League Cup final, they were kind of bad in that game.
Yeah.
But I think, like Al says, they've probably got the most, like, all the other teams, there's a bit of a question mark, whereas you'd thought Arsenal, you should know what you're getting there, whereas all the other teams got new managers basically. Apart from, I suppose Carrick's not technically new because he's already been doing it for a few months. But it's
I agree.
Maybe different now. He's full time rather than caretaker.
Yeah, obviously they've done apparently the hard bits, the retaining the title, isn't it? So we have to see how they get on there. I thought after they lost to Man City, I thought that was going to be that for them, but they've really showed good character, didn't they, to keep going. I think the real turnaround game, which one was it? Was it West Ham? I think, wasn't it, where they really had to? They got a controversial VAR decision, wasn't it? Which was probably right, to be honest. But it might have changed the bottom of the league if that was allowed. Maybe, you never know. Yeah, but I would say it's probably a good solid 9. Aston Villa, I've got to give them a good 9. I think this year. I thought Emery has done brilliant. At first, they had a slow start, if I remember right, and I was thinking, they might be struggling here. And then obviously Watkins wasn't really starting many games as well. And then over the second half of the season, been fantastic. And Watkins has been on absolute fire, hasn't he? Morgan Rogers has come out of another good season as well. Yeah, I mean, a good solid nine for them, and they won, of course, the Europa League. So,
Yeah.
what more can you do? What do you reckon, Sam?
I'd probably maybe even give them a 10. It's like I don't know what else more they would have wanted to do. Really, they've kind of
too
won
many tens flying around. Yeah,
No,
so.
I know. Yeah, I mean, maybe a 10 would be if they'd actually like. Because I remember around Christmas time they were actually sort of like. Because one of my mates is a Villa fan, and I remember talking to him. And it's like you're actually sort of competing for the league at that point. Obviously, they couldn't keep it all, but to win, essentially, they won the Champions League spot 2 ways. That's pretty.
Yeah.
You know, if you said that at the start of the season you'll get Champions League football by the league and winning the Europa League, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think any Villa fan would have been like, oh, I don't know about that.
To be honest, I'd go a 10. I think 4th in the league, won the Europa League. As you say, they had a slow start, and they didn't spend a lot of money last summer. Didn't bring in a lot of players. They've used the players that they've got. If you would think about it, like not a massive squad, and a lot of the teams that are in Europe struggle in the league unless they're one of the top 6 or whatever, because they just haven't got the players. It is looking like they're going to lose Rodgers because it's financial fair play or whatever the new thing's called, which is massively unfair, I think, for a team like Villa. But they've got a great manager, and hopefully they can kick on from there.
Yeah. Okay, Brentford, Sam. What do you reckon to their season? Out of 10, obviously.
Probably a 7.5. Like again, everyone was worried. Keith Andrews taking over manager, maybe like, is this the time Brentford fall out? But nope. Again, they've been pretty solid. But they just missed out, didn't they,
on goals difference
on Europe?
Yeah,
identical to Brighton as well.
No,
except for goals difference.
Yeah, I think that's the only real downer I'd put on the season. Is sort of like you could have been, getting in Europe and away days to God knows where, but I think if you start the season, you're worried, could Brentford, this could be the year that they finally Premier League catches up with them, but not at all. And their manager goes to Spurs and he's a bit of a disaster. So it suggests it's more about Brentford than whoever their manager is. I think.
What about you, Al? What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Sam. Really, it's finishing night's pretty impressive. Again, a team that you could potentially see going down. They've bought well in the summer. Decent players. Thiago's a quality player. They bought in to replace Wissa. Yeah, done really well.
And a real old-fashioned striker as well. Might see him in the World Cup with Brazil as well. So, but yeah, it's a shame that they didn't make Europe. I think they sort of ran out of steam a bit near the end. They were sort of 6th or 7th, weren't they, near the end? But I'd say just a few unfortunate results. But as a whole, I thought they were going to go down. Honestly, did.
Yeah.
I thought Keith Andrews, he wasn't even one of the main. What was he? He wasn't even assistant, was he? He was a sort of
set piece coach.
Set piece coach, yeah. And I just thought that's a risky one. But like some said, it must be the way it's run. It was very close-knit sort of staff there. So I'll give them a good 9, I think. And then next one then we've got is Brighton. Again, they done very well, haven't they? I would say qualified for Europe, so 8.5 for me.
Yeah.
Surprise. I mean, Welbeck being top scorer as well, and they just keep generating players, don't they? And they've might be a bit short with strength in depth, but they've bought well over the summer as well, and I think they probably could have been a bit higher if they had a bit more luck, in my opinion. But yeah, it'd be good to see them, I think, back in Europe. I think they did have a little stint a couple of years back.
A few years ago, didn't they?
Yeah. Sam?
I think they'd maybe be a bit disappointed that it's only, was it Conference League they got in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's better in that you probably they'd maybe be
Easier
one of the favourites to win it, whereas in the UEFA Cup or Europa League, I think like you got Juventus in it this year and other teams. You know, it's a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
But again, because I mean, like with a few weeks to go, they were a bit like Bournemouth. Like, well, we could maybe nick that 5th place. And that 5th place will get you Champions League, and it could have even gone down as low as 6th. You know, it didn't in the end, and then to in the end drop down to Conference League. I think they'll maybe be a little bit disappointed with that. So I'd probably go at 7, something like that.
Oh, anything else to add with that?
No, you guys said it all. Yeah, decent. Got in Europe, so 7.5.
Cool. Going to you anyway with the next one, which is the mighty Burnley. Oh,
The mighty Burnley, second bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the expectation for Burnley? Try and avoid relegation, so can't be too harsh on them. They didn't finish bottom, which is impressive because they were probably, I'd probably say the team that were favourite to finish bottom, Burnley. So give them a 5, maybe 5.5.
You've been very generous there.
Yeah,
Well done.
I don't want to slag them off because the expectation isn't to, finish in the top half of the table. That's.
I mean, I feel sorry for Burnley's supporters because they're on that doom loop, isn't it? Like some teams just have that. They're seem to be too good for the Championship, but not just quite good enough for the Premier League. I saw like little bits where I thought, oh, they're competing well, but they just didn't have. You need to, like Sam said with the Vardy thing, you need to have a striker, don't you, that can bang 10 goals. And if you haven't got that, then you're going to struggle. And unfortunately, I just think that the time came and Parker left. He wasn't sacked, was it? It was a mutual consent.
Was it?
I can't. But again, it was going to be inevitable, wasn't it? When they started to drop off from sort of Spurs, you sort of knew that they're probably going to end up going down. I've been 4.5. Sam?
I'd probably go a bit lower and I'd probably give them like a 3 because at the end of the day they have kind of like stunk the place out. But you're not wrong in that, like, and I'm not sure you expect much else, especially as like they came up last year built on sort of defence and clean sheets. And they lose Trafford in goal.
Yeah,
I think they lost one of their centre backs.
Yeah, he went to Marseille, I think.
Yeah. And then you look at Trafford and he sort of like goes to Man City and sits on the bench the whole year. And I doubt that would have maybe kept him up if they'd have been, because it's hard to be that kind of team in the Premier League. But maybe if they're not conceding goals, they can nick a few more games. Who knows? But in general, like I said, they'd be favourites to go down probably at the start of the season, and you wouldn't expect much else of them.
Okay. Well, it's your go for this next one, which is entertaining here, Sam, and that's Chelsea.
One an embarrassing club they are, as far as I'm concerned. And I hope I'm not sort of like insulting any Chelsea fans here, but I would imagine they think the same. It's sort of like the amount of money they've spent, the amount of managers they've gone through. It's just ridiculous, really.
Yeah, I mean, Maresca was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? It was obviously internal politics with that.
Yeah.
And then Rosinha was an interesting replacement that came really left field to me. And it was only ever going to really go one way, I thought. He seems like a good manager for a mid-table team, but not sort of for somewhat of an ilk of Chelsea. But, I mean, it's been a bit disastrous for them, hasn't it? I'd probably say about 5. I mean, they've missed out on all of Europe.
That's high. That is 5.
To be honest, that might have been. I bumped them up to 2 because they did miss out in Europe, and they probably don't want to be in Europe.
Yeah. Well,
they're
only
better
just
having a full run at the league with no Europe at all. And
I think it would change though in the summer. I think Xabi Alonso is the guy that would probably give them the kick that they need. Al, do you want to add on anything else on?
I don't think enough has been made of Chelsea, how poor they've been this season. Like, if when Man United finished mid-table a few seasons back, they were slagged off like anything. But Chelsea have been so poor. The amount of money they've spent more than anyone else over the last few seasons. And you think Man City aren't doing that, Arsenal aren't doing that, Liverpool aren't doing that. Like, not enough has been made about how poor they've been. Like, the amount of signings they've made, and they've made such poor signings. They've still not got a recognised striker. They've still not got a decent centre back to go in. I mean, they've got all right centre backs, but not someone who's,
keeper as well.
The keeper as well isn't fantastic. You think all that money they've spent, and they just spend it on wingers. Like, Garnacho, he was shit at Man United. Why spend 40 million on him? He's awful. Like, he's a player that he'll end up going somewhere like Spain or Italy or something and be amazing. But it's been such a poor season. I'd put 1 because I just think that is really poor.
I mean, it just shows, doesn't it, how bad it's been, because Cole Palmer didn't even make the squad for England. So, I mean, he was, this time last year, he was, the golden boy, wasn't he? Everyone was talking about him, saying, oh, he's going to be like the sort of England version of George Best. And, and it's just, been terrible. I think everything that could have gone wrong had gone wrong, to be fair. And unfortunately, I feel sorry for the fans, because it's the chairman. It seems like it's the backroom staff that are causing this friction.
It was like when they had Abramovich and they were just bringing in players and players and players. And, they've just done the same thing again. It's just like, oh, well, we're not winning, so let's sign another 10 players for X amount of money. How they're getting through PSI, I have no idea, because they're not making money from these players.
Well, they sold Chelsea hotels, didn't they? And they did all sorts of stuff. They sold the women's team to themselves as well, didn't they?
It's so dodgy. And how they're getting away with all this shit. When you've got teams like Aston Villa now who have got to sell their best players because, financial fact, it shouldn't be that way. I think if you finish in the Champions League, you should be given, leeway on stuff like that. I think it's so silly. But, yeah, very, very poor. That's for me, they're probably one of the worst teams of the season. I know they didn't finish in the relegation place, whatever, but the expectation of a team, at the start of the season, I thought they'd be Champions League. I thought they'd be up near the top. So for me, they're one of the worst teams of the season.
I would say it was after Christmas. They were third at Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. If they did just get with Maresca, they probably would have finished top 4.
Yeah. They weren't far away, at all.
No, they weren't.
I think ahead of Liverpool. So.
I mean, maybe he talked himself into getting sacked, because he was kind of moaning a lot. But I don't know. He maybe had valid things to moan about.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like it behind the scenes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Next one, Palace. Al, what do you reckon to Palace? So
Palace, I mean, if you weren't counting their Conference League win, then not a great Premier League finish. 15th, you'd be looking at a 4-3-4. But if you're counting their Conference League, you'd probably say, a 7, because 7, maybe 7.5, because they've gone and won something, which is brilliant for a team like that. Not a big squad. They are a team that are a selling club, so they have lost a lot of players over the last few seasons. You think of some of their players that have gone on to play in really big teams. So
Elise,
If I was a Palace fan, to be honest, I'd be really happy with this season. They didn't get relegated. They focused on Europe and they won it. So very impressive.
I'll give them, like you said, probably a good 6, really.
Yeah.
Shane Glasner's leaving, obviously, which is going to hit them quite hard, I think. But obviously that's internal, I guess, politics with that.
Yeah.
Some strange signings that they made at mid-season, Strand Larson from Wolves and Brennan Johnson. But again, it adds a bit of, depth to the squad. Mateta's going to be an interesting one in the summer, whether he's going to stay or go. I think he'll be another one probably to go, to be honest. But as a whole, their season was sort of quite uneventful in the league. They were never really in trouble, but I think the fans would have probably wanted a bit more. But with the European run, fair play. Sam, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think obviously, as I always said, if it was just the league, you'd be like pretty poor. But I think probably a lot of why they were poor in the league was they were focusing maybe more on winning the Conference League, and they've had a lot of, they were in the Conference League because they got kicked out of the what's it called? Because apparently their owner had two clubs,
of course. I totally forgot about that.
I'm pretty sure that was absolute nonsense, and then they've obviously lost. Well, they lost Eze quite early. Obviously, they sold him to Arsenal, and then they had to sell. Well, they were going to sell Gay to Liverpool, and then that got cancelled, and then they ended up selling him in January. So I think to achieve what they have done in the end, you maybe be a bit worried for them in the future, because obviously the manager's leaving, and there's always, when you're a team like Palace and you do well, everyone wants all your players, don't they?
Yeah.
So you kind of get picked apart a little bit. But hopefully they've got some players you don't know about yet who'll come through, who they've already signed or they're already lining up, sort of thing.
I mean, they're in the Europa League, aren't they? So you kind of think they might be able to attract some players, at least.
Probably give them like a 7 overall. Maybe that's a bit harsh because they'd win the Conference League, but if we're mainly focusing on Premier League, I suppose, yeah.
Okay, next one. Everton, Mr. Moyes. He's had a bit of a strange season, I would say, actually, for them, because they were, at one point, I remember watching the Merseyside derby, which was probably about March, and they were close to Liverpool. If they won that game, they would have been about a point behind, but they ended up being well down, didn't they? Sort of 13th, I think.
Yeah, 13th.
13th, with 11 points for Newcastle. And I just think it's probably been a chance wasted, in a weird way. New stadium as well, new stadium bounce, it could have been. But I think he's done the main thing, though. He's steadied the ship, hasn't he? First full season there. And I think they needed that. So I can't be too harsh on them. I still think they need probably more of a consistent striker to really push through. Dewsbury Hall has had a really good season, I thought. But yeah, I think if they can get themselves a good striker, it could be looking, top 8 or maybe even top 6. But I'll give them this year probably a good 6 out of 10. What about you, Al? Anything to add with that?
Yeah, I think they had issues with injuries, didn't they? They lost Grealish at one point, who was doing really well. As you say, Dewsbury Hall was really good from this season. And who's the chap? Guy?
Yeah.
He's absolute quality, and he was injured, wasn't he? Or did he go to Africa Cup of Nations?
Yes, he went African Cup of Nations, and then I think he probably got injured again.
Yeah, and he's such a good player, and they really missed him when he wasn't playing for them. But as you say, if they had a top striker, I think they'd have finished a lot higher. So disappointing, but Moyes, as you say, Moyes steadied the ship. And then there was talk about maybe getting rid of him, but I think he's a quality manager for them, and he did well. And it's not always the same when a manager comes back. Sometimes it just doesn't work at all. But I think he's perfect for them. So I'd give him a 6, 6.5. I don't think it was particularly that bad.
Sam?
I think the epitome of a 6, isn't it? It's sort of like
considering where 5 points off Europe technically end of season.
I think that's the thing with the Premier League table this season. It's so there's so few points between a massive sway that sort of like someone like Everton, a few more wins and they'd be up in the Europe.
Yeah.
A few more defeats and they'd be down towards the bottom. But I think, considering where they have been in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, to have a relatively stress-free season, I think is probably a good thing. But as you said, there's always, I've heard sort of people murmuring, saying that some of the fans are already a bit like, oh, I don't know, the football's a bit rubbish and all that.
Yeah.
Typical stuff you get with David Moyes. But
of course. Fulham. Al, what do you reckon? Well, we've heard that Silva has left, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's
left as well, which is going to be a big loss. I forgot to mention.
But again, you look at Fulham, they were 2 points off. Sorry, they were a point off Europe. They finished on 52 points. They were a point off finishing in Europe. So for Fulham, not a bad season. I'd say 7.5. You know, it's really odd when you look at it. I mean, Spurs were technically only 12 points off Europe.
Yeah.
So as Sam said, like the table this year was so strange. There were so many teams that were 1 or 2 wins away from finishing in the European places. So, you know, not a bad season for Fulham. They are where you expect Fulham to be, mid-table team, really.
Sam, anything to add?
I think it's kind of like you'd worry that you get a bit bored with finishing mid-table in the Premier League, but once you're not doing it, you realise, oh, that was quite good when we were just sort of like an average Premier League team. And I think that's the thing, as we've said with the table, it's like 2 or 3 victories, and your season looks a lot more sort of like promising than it ended up being. But obviously losing the manager again, a bit like with Palace, you're worried it's sort of like how important that could be. You know, if you get that appointment wrong, could that be a bit of a, you know, a disaster?
Yeah. I mean, I think they've had a good season, like you said, middle of the road.
Yeah.
Harry Wilson's done very well. He's took his role up there really well in midfield.
Isn't he?
Pardon?
Isn't he out of contract now as well?
Yeah. So that's another issue they've got to try and sort out with the new manager. I think this new manager is going to be a real difficult one for them, because Silva, I think, has done a really good job there. I did have my doubts when I first saw him join after what happened with him at Everton, etc.
He's been there a long time as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. So it's a shame that they've had to let him go. But for the season, though, like I say, he like Everton, it's sort of like a 5.56. Perfect. Now, next one, Leeds. I think they've had a really good season, to be honest. I'll give them a solid 8. I would have put them to go down.
Yeah.
This year. I think he changed formation sort of halfway through a Man City game, and he was forced to change it, and it just randomly worked. And I think they got a draw or something. And they've ever since then, they've been on an incredible sort of consistent run. Calvert-Lewin, arguably one of the best signings of the summer. He's a free, and he's
such a good sign.
Done really well. That's sort of what we say, isn't it? A good number 9 that's going to score goals to keep you up. And the winger as well, Noah Offerborough, is it?
Yeah. Okafor, isn't it?
Yeah, the Swiss guy. He was starting to come through before he got injured, but I think they've got a real good nucleus there, and he's now, I think, had he ever stayed up as a manager?
No.
Before that, so he's got that off his shoulder now. So yeah, I'll give him an 8. What do you reckon then, Sam?
Yeah, I think, your only brief would have been, you'd say at the start of the season, will Leeds just stay up, and they've done that fairly comfortably. Obviously, at one point it did look a bit dodgy, and they were never quite pulled themselves away enough where it's like, oh, we're safe now, until quite late on. But they were always had a little bit of a cushion there. It always felt like it was more, Spurs and West Ham and Forest were the teams where you're like, they're looking in trouble. Sort of thing. Leeds were always just about, the water's just about at the bottom of their chin rather than sort of like at the nose and stuff like that. So
I think they beat Man U, didn't they? Man U, and I think after that, I think they were more or less clear, aren't they? To be honest,
I think I'd give them an 8.
Nice one, Al.
Yeah, I'd agree. 47 points, only 5 points off Europe. So if 47 in a regular in another season, it'd be higher up the league. Impressively safe, really. And as you say, that was what they needed to do, is to stay up, and they did it. Brilliant.
Right then, Liverpool. I'll go with a 5. But it started so well. I think they won sort of the first 6 games, and I thought, I was watching it and I was going, they're not playing very well.
No.
They've got to pick up, because against Newcastle, especially like where we scored, was it 2 late goals, 4-3 win, and I thought they're getting the look here, but then it all just went apart, really, didn't it? Injuries. I just think consistency. I think they had too many new signings up at the top. They had Wirtz, you didn't know where to play him. They had to put him in the team because he cost so much money.
Yeah.
But they were just, no, I think everyone was a bit off form except for Dominic Szoboszlai, who had a quality season. He carried them. I never understood why Slot put him as right back though for some of the way. I thought if he just kept him in midfield, then that. But he's just did everything non-fussed, wasn't it? And the goal against Arsenal as well at Anfield was that free kick. But not much to really be happy about, to be fair. Didn't win anything, which Liverpool, you've got to at least get to a final. They haven't done that. So, yeah, just a 5. Al, anything to add there?
I'll give them a 6 just for the fact they made it in the Champions League. I mean, it's been a poor season for Liverpool, but as you say, there's been a lot of changes up top, and I think when you've got players that are aging like Salah and Van Dijk who aren't on top form anymore, I think I wonder if there's been sort of words from the top saying you need to be playing these players. They moan about Slot and stuff like that, but we said at the start he won him a league the season before. They did all right in the Champions League. It's not been a great season, injuries and stuff like that, but got Champions League, so you go again.
Sam, anything to add?
I'll split the difference. I go 5.5.
Yeah.
I think it's they've got the Champions League, so it's not a total disaster. But to win the league and then not really defend it in any way whatsoever. And
25 points off Arsenal they were in the end.
And then you look at it and it doesn't necessarily look that promising going forward either, because there's quite a few sort of like their sort of key players are quite old now and maybe look a bit like Van Dijk's looking at. I know he played every game, so maybe it's a bit harsh. Maybe in an ideal world you get him a bit of a rest, but he's looking a bit like, is he that good anymore?
Well, it doesn't seem to be very. What's that? Sorry, mate.
Canate's gone now.
Yeah, Alisson missed a lot of games. I've not seen enough of Liverpool but I've heard McAllister was absolute toilet. Salah, is he staying or is he probably going? But potentially, some of the players they signed in the summer next year, maybe they're amazing. But
well, to be fair, Van Dijk was quite a good striker near the end of the season. He was banging in. Put him at number 9. He's all he just
exactly.
Be like a Steve Walsh.
It might be just because Liverpool are struggling as a team. It exposes your centre backs when you're not playing well. Your defenders look kind of rubbish. But
well, like you just said, Canute leaving. That's another major loss. And I think
did they buy some young guy in at the start?
Yeah,
and he got injured straight away. So maybe he's comes in and he's amazing. I don't know.
Just it would have been nice to have had an English player come through, but there we go.
Trim that.
You get a young English centre forward coming through. That's what we need at the minute, because Harry Kane's this might be his last World Cup, so we need a new one.
Don't worry, he'll carry on. He'll just carry on.
Just keep going.
Man City, Sam, what do you reckon?
7. They won both cups, didn't they? So, and they finished second. It's far from a disaster, but when you've set your standards as high as they did, you definitely be a little bit disappointed. But so that's 2 years now they've not won the league, which is a bit disappointing for Pep to go out with sort of 2 seasons where he's not won the league. But you'd maybe again a bit like with Liverpool. It's like, what does the future hold? You always think with Man City, like, oh no, they'll come good. But you look at Man United when Ferguson left, they've still never recovered. And then Liverpool back in the sort of like early 90s when it's sort of was it Dalglish left, and then it's 30 years or whatever till they won the league again, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've had a good season. Like I said, it was a shame he didn't push Arsenal a bit more, but I think they've got quite an inexperienced. I think we spoke about this before. Quite an inexperienced team in a weird way. They lost quite a few of the experienced players, so they're gaining that, I guess, sort of big game experience. I think Nico O'Reilly's had a cracking season. Be interesting where they put him, because obviously he's more of a midfielder, but he's took on that left back place really well, hasn't he? But like I said, the loss of Pep is going to be big. It's, I guess it might be Maresca, the bounce back ability, is that the word? Or have I just invented it?
That's Chris Kamara inventing that.
Bounce, it is a real Chris Kamara. But no, a shame that they lost their last game as well. But as a whole, they still look immense, haven't they? You got Cherky as well, and you got, when you can take off players and bring on Mamouche and Foden, then it's quite strength and depth still there, and they're only going to put more quality onto there, aren't they, in the summer? So I think they should come back. So I think this year it's a good 8. I think. Anything else?
What you say about Nico O'Reilly was a midfielder, because there's a lot of midfielders that tend to go to right back or left back. Like Lewis Hall was a midfielder, and Szoboszlai's played a lot on right backs. Strange, sort of, they can move to those positions. I mean, I'd like Sam. I'd give them a 7, because I think they finished on 78 points, 7 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal won it on 85 points. Man City have broken the 100-point barrier before, so it's not been a fantastic season. They seem to be having these at the minute where they have like really poor runs for quite a while, and then they start to come good, and you think, I mean, a few years ago when they beat Liverpool to the title, they went on a winning streak that was just ridiculous. And every time they do it now, you think, oh, they're going to do it again, but then they have a poor game after about 4 games, and they just can't seem to get that winning mentality back as much. But as you say, they lost a lot of players. They're losing Bernardo Silva this year, which is going to be a big loss. And I'd be interested to see what happens with Haaland after the next season, because I think if they don't win it again, I think if they don't win it next season, I think he might be off.
Yeah, possibly. Man United. I'll start with that one. Well, it was a bit of a iffy start with Amorim, wasn't it? And then brought in Carrick, and he's done a bit of an ollie, hasn't he? Like we said earlier, and turned an very average start to a very, very good finish. Better place. Not too far behind the rival. Only 7 points behind Man City. He's brought some stability back, hasn't he? And he's made the football a bit more interesting, a bit more entertaining for the fans. And I think the new signings they brought in has done very well. The goalkeeper, very good signing. Yeah, you can't really complain. Can't really complain with that. Yeah, Al, what do you reckon?
I'd give them a 9. I think, to be honest, you look at Man United over the last few seasons, to finish in 3rd place is absolutely amazing. I think after a poor start to the season, changing manager, you never know how that's going to go, but Carrick's come in, done well. I don't think all of the signings have been particularly great. I mean, Mbuemo's not been as good as perhaps they hoped he would be. Sesko's not been as good as, but they've been winning. So, if these players, they put 3 new players up the top, didn't they, really, this season? If they can, if they improve next season, then there's no reason why they can't be challenging near the top, right near the top. And it's interesting what happens when you play players in the right position, isn't it? Then you might start winning, which they did.
It is interesting. It is a bit of a rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, I forgot to say Fernandez with the assistant record as well.
Oh, no.
Did it?
That one wasn't an assist.
Has that been officially said, or have they let that go?
I think they've let it go. They've given it to him.
What about you then, Sam? What do you reckon?
I'd probably give them an 8.
Yeah.
I think, considering they've binned off Amorim, Carrick's come in, they finished third, which obviously, in the old days, Man United finishing third's a bit rubbish, but for the last sort of 10 years or so, that's a pretty good finish for them. You're definitely worried about, is it a bit of a false dawn? They had they played the least amount of games they possibly could, I think.
Yeah.
So, if you're just having to play league games, then maybe you've got a bit of an advantage that you're not going to have next year. But at least I'm sure there's at least a bit more sort of positive vibes for their fans than there has been over the last sort of 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So I think an 8's about right.
Cool. Right then, now, do you want to go on to your team, Newcastle?
Only 4 points off Europe. So it's been a poor season in the Premier League. Champions League until we got destroyed by Barcelona was decent. Had a good time in there, but it's one of those where we can't seem to handle it when we're in Europe and in the Premier League at the same time. It just doesn't work. I think the signings I think the whole Isak saga meant that we rushed our signings towards the end. I don't think we signed. I think we've got some players that could be decent next season, but a lot of them didn't kick on as well as we hoped. We've had injuries, and everyone's had injuries, so I can't really say about that. I'd say, to be honest, I'd go with a 5 because I think it's been really poor. Finishing 12th is really poor for us, and I think I'm hoping the only good thing is I'm hoping this summer might be a bit of an overhaul of the squad because there's a lot of players that I don't think that should still be there. I'm happy that Anthony Gordon's gone because I think I've always liked Anthony Gordon. I really do, but I just think he doesn't turn up all the time. Not interested a lot of the time. He was interested when we were playing the Champions League and he was brilliant, but in the league he just didn't do it. And so I'll give it a 5.
I'll go with a 6 with them. I think consistency has been a key, which you've just totally lacked. Again, you've got some good players, I think, coming through. I think Jacob Ramsey was starting to become
he looked
a good player near the end of the season. Again, though, it's the same as what I was saying. We've been saying all the way through. You need a good striker, and unfortunately, you just haven't had a consistency.
Yeah,
consistent number 9. Rissa has come out obviously from injury. Obviously, Nick can't ever pronounce his surname. That's the boy. Has struggled a bit, but I don't understand why, if you know what I mean, because I thought the Premier League
started so well.
Yeah,
he did start so well, but then Eddie Howe's not trusted him. He's very different striker to what Isak was. So we played him. We didn't change the style for him, but then he came in so late in the window. You then have people are moaning that we didn't change the style, but you haven't got time to change the style because you're not got that pre-season where you can learn about that player. So we were playing the same style we did last season, but with a player that isn't the same. So.
Anything else to add there, Sam, for Newcastle?
No, just from an outsider who's not, they seem to have one season where they do really well in the league, qualify for Champions League, but then the next season they can't. With all the amount of games, they can't. Maybe they don't have enough depth to sort of maintain it in the league, and then they fall down and they qualify for Champions League again, and then it's a little bit up and down, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd probably go with 5 or 6. Yeah.
Next one then for you, Sam. Your second favourite team, Nottingham Forest.
I think I'm not saying this just because they're Forest, but I think a bit of a 5.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of about. I mean, they get to the semi-finals of the Europa League.
Yeah, that's
but in the end, they got absolutely smashed by Villa, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they've been kind of terrible in the league. They've sacked, managers. I don't. They should be finishing probably mid-table. Really, they shouldn't be. I mean, maybe if they weren't in the UEFA Cup, maybe they would have finished mid-table. But I think all in all, a pretty poor season. So the fact they've stayed up and they're still a Premier League team, that's all that matters, really, isn't it? So
Yeah, I'll go about a 6. It's been a weird season for Forest. I mean, Gibbs White left and then he didn't leave.
Yeah.
He was then forced a new contract by the mad chairman, didn't he? Like force him back or something.
I don't know.
And then obviously they've gone for a few managers as well. And Pereira, who was ex-Wolves managers, then sort of steered them out of relegation. I think they've got a good team there. I think they're just underperformed as a whole.
Yeah.
Again, like I said to you before, Elliot Anderson looks a quality player. I doubt he'll be there at the start of next season. If they manage to keep him, then fair play. And obviously Morello, I think at the back's been consistent for the last few years. So if they can keep their spine together in the club, then great stuff. But if they start losing the players again, they might struggle next year. But we'll have to wait and see. What do you reckon, Al?
I think that Chris Wood being out for a long periods of the season was a major. He was so good last season for them, which meant they really struggled. I'd give them a 4 because I think they finished so low. If you don't count Europe, I'd give them a 4 because they were 16th. And it's fair play they survived, but last season they were near the top, and it's been a difficult season, I think.
Right, Sunderland. Sorry, Al, but wow, I'll have to give them about a 9.
Yeah.
Fantastic season, to be fair. I wasn't expecting that. They've bought well. They've made Stadium of Light a really tough place to go to get anything out of it. They've obviously got Xhaka's played fantastic from what I've seen. They've got great unity. The manager's surprised everybody. I've never heard of him until this year. And yeah, they've just made it very hard to play against. I mean, the only thing I can say is they haven't scored many.
Yeah.
But they haven't conceded many either. So as long as if they can keep doing that, then I can't see no reason why they'll be mid-table next year. But it's always the second year is the toughest, isn't it? Like we say.
Yeah.
So just hope that they don't go splash out too much with, say, some also runs, not being rude to also runs, and make mistakes like some other clubs have done in the past. But this year, fantastic. Sam, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think they're kind of like the dream season when you're a promoted club, in that you sort of start off so well that you're never really sort of like in any trouble. And they did kind of have a bit of I think they had a sort of spell, I don't know exactly when, but sort of like maybe after Christmas till quite close to the end, where they were kind of not really doing anything. But because they got so many points on the board already, they would never really get in trouble. And then they've had a little spell right at the end of the season where they suddenly picked up their form. And in a table like we said, a table that's so tight, you can end up nicking a place in your Europa League.
Yeah.
It's got to be a 9, really, isn't it? Or even a 10.
Yeah.
Anything to add there? I know you.
No, I'd go 9 or 10 because I think when was the last time a team that got promoted finished as high as they have, really? And as Sam said, they had a dip at one point where it was looking like they might finish, mid-table, lower than mid-table, and then they came back. They didn't spend a lot of money. They brought a lot of players in, but the players they brought in were fantastic, really good. And yeah, fair play to them. They've done really well. Which I hate saying that.
Sam, you can start this one. Spurs.
3. They didn't get relegated, so
Yeah.
Well done for not getting relegated.
but that's about the only positive you can. And maybe like you look at them now and you think, oh well, with De Zerbi in, maybe they can sort of finally turn it round again. But over that is that 2 seasons in a row they finished 17th, which for Tottenham, that's terrible.
Yeah, they did win a cup though last year, didn't they? They won the European.
Yeah, I suppose.
Europa,
and they
Europa
that
League
meant they were in the Champions League, didn't it?
Yeah,
They finished 4th in the Champions League table.
Oh no, it's crazy season.
It's insane.
I'll give them 2.5. I just think I thought Thomas Frank would do all right. I'll be honest. I thought, but it was an absolute disaster, wasn't it? And once you lose the fans, especially at Spurs, it becomes a long old slog. Then Tudor came in, and one of the worst appointments I've ever seen. And then De Zerbi, he steadied the ship. I wouldn't say they improved particularly too much. I think they did just about enough, to be honest. They got a lot of work in the summer to sort that out, to be honest.
Yeah.
So, Al?
You look at like the two managers they had this season before De Zerbi, they're quality managers.
Yeah.
Like, they're managers that shouldn't be down that end of the table. So it is really. I'd give them a 1 this season. I mean, I know they didn't get relegated; it'd be 0 if they got relegated. But the signings they made it look like they were going to be fairly decent. They've made some signings that you thought, they're impressive players, and they have got some really good players.
I mean, that's the only excuse I get. Like Kulusevski and Maddison.
Yeah, them being injured
the whole season.
It's not great, but yeah, so poor again.
They got Xavi Simons and Guillaume Coulibaly, what we call him, from France. I remember seeing him in the Euros.
Quality
starting for France.
And like you look at their centre backs, 2 quality players.
Yeah,
what's going on?
But
more of the same, please. Next season, Tottenham. But it was like at the end of the season when Arsenal lost the Champions League final, and the Tottenham fans were all like, look at you. It's like, you finished 17th. You avoided relegation on the last day of the season. You've got nothing to celebrate.
Yeah, I know. I
mean, it's the fact that you are celebrating, the fact that last game of the season you beat Everton 1-0 at home and you celebrating and it's just like because you've not been relegated.
Yeah.
And if for most teams, fair enough. That's you take that, but for Spurs, you should be top half at least, really, shouldn't you?
Right, on to the last 2. These could go quite fast, to be honest, because bless them. West Ham. I'm going to give them. Well, we've got relegated, didn't they? So it's got to be low. So it'd be 2.5. Nuno tried his best, didn't he? I don't quite know what Graham Potter was doing at the beginning of the season. I think Nuno did steady the ship, to be honest, near the end, but they just ran out of gas. I just think the sucker punch, like we just touched on, was the Arsenal game, the goal that should have been whatever. And then they got spanked by Newcastle. And I think that just took the wind out of the sails. I think it's just too much of a bigger ask. A lot of players have underperformed. I think the big players like Bowen have only been in games a few times this year. But they've just been so easy to break through defensively, haven't they? And just, it's just not worked out. Nuno, has he left now?
No, he's staying next season.
He's staying. Well, he's got the championship. He's got championship experience.
Yeah.
I think they'll do well there anyway. And if they keep Bowen as well, I mean, you've got to put them as favourites to go straight back up. But this year has not been great for them. I think that's what happens if you're, with all due respect, got a mediocre squad, and if you have a bad season, you've got a high probability of going down. It's happened with all due respect. We've got Sam here. Happened with Leicester. You're never too good to stay up, aren't you? So, Al?
Yeah, disappointing. 39 points, which would usually keep you up. So disappointing. I'd give them a 3 because they had spells when they looked decent. Towards the end of the season, as you say, if they hadn't lost to Newcastle, like they looked good up until that game, and Newcastle were in poor form, and they just fell apart during that game, which ultimately sent them down. Really, they'd have got something out of that game. I think they probably would have stayed up. So I think they would have carried on from there. Disappointing because they have got some decent players, which they potentially might lose. Be good. I'd like to see Bowen stay there, to be honest, which I think he might, because I don't really know where he'd go.
And Danny Dyer will beat him.
And Danny Dyer's not going to let him leave. So
both Danny Dyers.
the Danny Dyers.
You're not going anywhere, son.
Sam,
I'd maybe give them a 4 in that I think they're a touch unlucky. I would say they got 39 points. That usually be enough. And there's, with Sunderland doing so well, and to a lesser extent, Leeds doing so well, the last couple of years, you basically, the teams who've come up have been absolute rubbish. So
only one team going down that got promoted. That never really happens, does it?
So maybe a little bit unlucky, but like you said, there's, they appointed Potter last year. He didn't really do much. I think Nuno's done okay, but they may be good enough that they could have stayed up, but they didn't.
Yeah. Final club. We're here, the 20th club, and they came 20th. So Wolves.
0.
I'll start them off. I've got to go with a 1. Bless them.
Yeah.
They've got some good players there. It's just been an absolute nightmare for them, hasn't it? Just hasn't worked out from start to finish. Even with Rob Edwards, I'm not properly sold on him there. Just not scored enough. 27 goals this year, 20 points. A bit like Burnley, to be honest, just lacking that quality up top. I think they've got a young winger called Mane. He looked quite half decent, a youngster there. But they've just lost. It was their season to go down. Everything went wrong for them. Changed the manager, didn't quite get the bounce. Really, he sort of came good. Sort of about February, wasn't it? Where they got a couple of wins. They beat Liverpool and they drew with Arsenal. No, they beat Arsenal at home, didn't they?
I can't remember. I
think
remember a game where they equalised really late on, but then Arsenal scored again.
That was it. They drew with them at home, and you just think, are they actually going to stay up? But no, they just didn't have the quality there. Sam, what do you reckon?
I think they picked up a bit under Edwards, but they were, they were doomed from 2 games in or something like that. And it's been coming with Wolves for, I'd say, 2 or 3 seasons now. It's been like a, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Go on. I interrupted you.
No, I've not really got much more to add.
Last say on the matter?
I'd give them a 0. They finished bottom of the league. Wolves have been such a good club for, and they just, nothing went right. And they were bottom at the start of the season and they continued to be bottom throughout of it. So I can't give them any more than a 0. I think I'd be so disappointed as a fan because there was never a time that it looked like they were going to get out of it. Never. So, 4.
Oh, there you go. That's our review. Are you ready for a quiz?
Yep.
This is going to be a bumper episode today, guys.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Starving.
Okay.
Shall we start off with the... Might quickly turn the light on as well, like you did, Chris.
Yeah, no problem.
Bear with me.
We have lights, guys.
Lights all round. Right.
There we go.
Hey,
So at the moment, it's 3 to Sam, 1 to Al, and 0 to moi.
Yeah.
So, and it's Al to start with his 10 questions.
Okay. Question 1. Which Scottish club won their first European Cup in 1970?
Celtic?
It was Celtic. Well done, Chris. Question 2. Who was the England manager in the 1966 World Cup finals?
Alf Ramsey.
Correct. Question 3. Shirt sponsors. Tottenham. Since 1990, Tottenham have had 5 front of shirt sponsors. We'll do a bid for this one. Chris, I'll start with you. How many of the 5 do you think you can name?
I'll start with 2.
Fair play.
How many has there been?
5.
I can't think of another one. You can go for it.
All right, Chris.
Right. Hewlett and Packard.
Hewlett Packard, which they had twice, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, they had
doubled
it.
up
Then they had another sponsor, and then they had Hewlett Packard again.
Oof. Just trying to think. Is it AIA or something like that?
AIA, yeah, well done. Would anyone like to guess any of the other three?
Holston.
Holston.
Of course, yeah.
Can't think of the others.
They had Umbro
Mm.
and Sega.
Of course.
Oh, that's not Sega, is it? Mm.
There we go.
Spain won the World Cup in 2010, but who was their starting goalkeeper?
Pepe Reina.
It was not Pepe Reina.
Okay. De Goy, David De Goy.
It was Casillas.
Still.
Oh, yeah.
Question 5. Who were the first team to win the World Cup back-to-back?
Brazil.
Incorrect. I will let you have 2 guesses on this, though, but Sam, do you want to take a guess first?
Yeah, let some go.
Spain.
It was not Spain. So
Uruguay.
no.
Go on then, Sam.
Germany.
It was Italy, 1934 and 1938.
Ooh.
Question 6. Starting lineups. Argentina versus England in the 1998 World Cup round of 16, the infamous game.
Okay.
Can you name the starting 11s for both Argentina and England? We'll go back and forth. Sam, we'll start with you.
Sol Campbell.
Sol Campbell, correct.
David Beckham.
Correct.
Michael Owen.
Correct.
Diego Simeone.
Correct.
Gabriel Batistuta.
Yep.
I was going to say him. Ariel Ortega.
Correct.
Paul Scholes.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. Good shout. David Seaman.
Yeah.
Oh, he's struggling.
Jeez. Paul Ince.
Correct.
Gary Neville.
Yeah.
Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
Hernan Crespo.
Incorrect. That's your life gone, Chris. You've only got 3 England players left, just to let you know, and the rest are Argentinians.
Graham Lasso.
Yes.
Oh,
Good shout.
Roberto Ayala.
Yes.
Oh. Five, 4, 3, 2.
Tony Adams.
Correct.
Oh, what?
There was 1 England player left.
Oh my God! What position's that?
You went second, didn't you, Chris? I can't tell you until after you've had a guess, I'm afraid.
So, oh my gosh. You caught me out then. I thought I had you on the ropes with that one.
7 Argentinians left.
Claudio Lopez.
Well played. I can tell you which position the England player was now. He was a midfielder.
Midfielder. Okay.
Darren Anderton.
Whoa, well played.
Are you kidding me? You're kidding me, man. Oh my God. Is it Sensini? Nesta Sensini, is it?
Unfortunately, Chris, that is your your last life gone.
Oh,
You could have had in goal was Roa, Zanetti was at the back, Chame, Vivas, Almeida, and Juan Sebastian Veron.
oh, Veron. That's who I was thinking. Is that a point to Sam?
Was a point to Sam.
Yeah.
It's 2-2 at the minute. Question 7. Which club was the first in Premier League history to sack a manager? I'm not going to ask for the manager. I just want to know the club. I'll give you 2 guesses of this. I will tell you, though, that they are still a Premier League team.
Chelsea?
It was Chelsea.
Oh, shit.
Can you guess who the manager was?
So an extra point.
Ian Bracewell?
It was Ian Potterfield,
Ian
who I've never heard of.
No.
At the World Cup, what is awarded to the best goalkeeper?
Golden Glove.
Correct. Well done. Question 9. Who is the oldest Premier League goal scorer?
Ed Sheeran.
Correct. And finally, this is a bid question. There are 12 football grounds in England with a capacity of over 40,000. Can you name, how many can you name? So who did I ask first last time? Chris. So Sam, your bid first.
How many in total was it?
There's 12.
9.
Whoa, fair play.
That's a high one, that is. And it's clubs, yeah?
It is football grounds in England with a capacity of over 40,000.
Football grounds. 10, please.
10.
Go on, Sam.
11.
Oh, over to you, sir.
Oh, God. All right.
Over to you.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Correct.
I don't know what is it. Is it still called the Olympic Stadium or?
I'll give you that. It's the London Stadium. It's
London
called
Stadium.
Now, but yeah.
Emirates Stadium.
Bear with me. I'm just ticking them off. Yep.
Villa Park.
Yep.
City of Manchester or Etihad Stadium.
Yep.
Old Trafford.
Yep.
Anfield.
Yep.
Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Yep.
James Park.
Yep.
Stadium of Light.
Yep, that's 10. You only got one more.
Ellen Road.
It's not.
Oh.
Chris to steal.
Wembley.
Yeah.
That's why I asked about whether it's clubs or.
Oh yeah.
You want to take a guess on the last one, which is the 12th biggest, so it's the smallest of all of those.
Oh, the smallest of all.
Just over 40,000.
It's a really good shout, that is. No, go on, mate.
Stamford Bridge.
No, oh, Chelsea.
I think that was over. Yeah, that was
Just over. Just over. So after that was 4-4.
Oh, you see, it should have been 5-3. It's like the disallowed goal, isn't it? Right then, my 10. I've done it on this year's sort of around Europe.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing, as I usually do, is who am I? So I'm going to give you the clubs. And obviously interrupt if you want to put in a guess. Sion, RB Leipzig, Hertha Berlin, Atletico Madrid, Wolves on loan, Wolves, Man United.
Cunha.
Correct. How you're up and running. Next one, similar thing. Stuttgart second team, Bayern Leverkusen loan, Bayern Leverkusen, Arsenal, Fulham.
Oh God.
It's mainly the
Leno.
correct. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So I've got another who am I, but what I'm going to give you is 5 sort of sentences for this person.
okay.
So you get 1 life. You
Mhm.
can put in a guess, and then so go from there. So first one is he worked in a bakery before turning professional. While playing in the local Portuguese 6th division as a teenager, he used to wake up early at his godfather's bakery in Ericeira to help support his family financially. Does anyone want to make a guess, or do you want to go on to the next one?
Next one.
Next one. He learned English from watching an unexpected Premier League team. His English stepfather is a native fan of Sunderland and from there. As a young child growing up in Brazil, he would wake up early on the weekends to watch Sunderland match broadcasts, which sparked his early obsession with the Premier League. Anyone want to put in a guess? Do you want me to go and move on to the next one?
Yeah.
He rejected a call-up from Brazil. He was born and raised in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, until moving to Portugal at the age of 12. On his 23rd birthday in 2021, he was called up by the Brazilian national team, but turned it down because he chose to represent his adopted nation, Portugal, instead. Oh,
Is it Pepe?
Pepe?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to guess.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't forget you get one get, you get another guess out. So
Okay.
Sam, do you want to put in a guess now, or do you want to listen to the next one? No,
Yeah.
next one. He has been called one of the best in the world by Pep Guardiola. Before Manchester City even signed him, manager Pep Guardiola publicly praised him, calling him one of the best in the world after City played his former club, Sporting CP, in the Champions League. No, do you want me to move on to the final clue?
Yeah.
Final clue. He cost a club record fee for Wolves. His impressive energy in midfield for Sporting caught the eye of Premier League scouts, leading to Wolves breaking the club record to sign him in August 2022 for initial 38 million.
Mortinho.
No.
Oh, flips.
I don't know. I can't remember what his name is. The right back. Nuno something.
Oh,
No.
yeah, I know what you mean.
It is Mateus Nunes.
Mateus.
Unlucky, guys, unlucky. I can't believe he turned down playing for Brazil. Anyway, gamble questions, 2 on the trot here. There have been 12 clubs relegated in the 4 major English leagues this year. How many can you name? We'll start with Al on this one. From all the leagues.
3.
3.
6.
Pardon?
6.
Oh, from 3 to 6, he's gone big.
No, go for it, because I can think of the top 2 leagues, but I can't think of another one. So, yeah, I'll let you go for it.
West Ham, Burnley,
Yeah.
Wolves,
Yeah.
Leicester, Oxford, Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Other ones were
Barrow.
Exeter. Yeah, Barrow, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
No.
Nah.
Harrogate, Northampton, Rotherham, and Port Vale. Well done there, Sam.
I could have got 7.
Well, as I've done relegated clubs, I thought the next gamble could be promoted clubs this year. And I've included the 2, obviously, from the National League. So it's 12 again. What are you going to go with, Sam? Right.
6 again.
6. Can you go 7 out, or are you gonna?
No.
No, go 6 then.
Coventry,
Yeah,
Ipswich, Hull.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Yeah.
Cardiff.
Yeah.
Bolton.
Well done, Sam. Can you name any more?
Rochdale, York.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can you name the 3 that?
Notts County.
Yeah.
Bromley.
Bromley, MK Dons, and Cambridge. Not very good on your lower league rounds.
I've got to do my homework now.
Okay. Which club finished 12th in the Premier League this year?
Newcastle.
Well done, Al.
That's not fair.
Which club came 4th in Serie A this year?
Juventus.
I'm lucky, no.
Como.
Correct.
Oh, of course.
I think Juve came 5th. I wasn't sure. Who was Brighton's top scorer this year?
Matoma.
No.
Welbeck.
Correct, yeah. Okay, this is a tennis game, and the first one is the starting lineup for Palace in the final against Real Vallecano. So we're looking at just the first 11 for Crystal Palace. So I started with who was it that I started with? It was, I think it was Al first, so it's you to start there, Sam. When you're ready.
Dean Anderson.
Correct.
Mateta.
Yeah.
Adam Wharton.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's the 3 I was going to say.
Oh yeah, subs. If you can think of a sub,
Yeah.
I'll do the Al thing, and you go again.
I didn't think of another bloody Crystal Palace player. No, I can't think of another Crystal Palace player.
Can you steal?
Tarek Mitchell.
Correct. Well done, Sam. Okay, so got starting lineups for Spurs versus Everton.
Oh.
So this is the last game of the season. Yeah, this is a fixture for the last game of the season. And it can be obviously either or. So this one could be a bit quicker, a bit more faster than the other one. So when you're ready, Al.
Pickford.
Correct.
James Garner.
Yeah.
Trying to think of that name of that Tottenham goalie. That Tottenham goalie that I can't remember the name. Bloody hell!
Oh, he's having a mare tonight, isn't he?
I know. Tottenham. Van der Ven didn't play. There was all that big thing about him.
Did I hear you say Van der Ven?
No, I said Van der Ven didn't play.
Oh, okay. Last game, remember? Beto, let me just say. He came on, so you got another go. Are you sure you don't want to go for Mickey Van der Ven?
Last game of the season?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I thought he was the one that didn't play. Or is that?
Are you gonna stick that one down?
Van der Ven then.
No, sorry, mate.
I know he didn't play.
No, only joking. He did play. He started.
Did he? I thought he was.
Yeah, he started. Yeah, he's captain. So yeah.
Who was the one that didn't play then?
Sam, can you think of one?
Dewsbury Hall.
Dewsbury Hall, yeah.
Gaia.
Oh, yeah. Who did he play for?
Everton. Gay or Gaia.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, sorry. Yep. Sorry, yeah. Illiman and Dyer, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Pedro Porro.
Oh, yeah.
Who was the one that went? Oh, fuck knows.
I'm going to give you a clue. You got to remember of the person who scored the only goal that game. If you can remember.
Benton Kerr.
Yeah, he started. Well done.
João Polino.
Well done. Yeah, he did score the only goal of the match.
James Coleman.
He came on. Yep. So it's you again. It's his last ever game for Everton as well.
I know it was his last ever game. I thought he'd started. Should have let him start.
Can you not think of a centre back for Everton?
Branthwaite.
Bradford.
He was injured, wasn't he? He's always fucking injured.
So so you could have had Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Michael Keane, Mylenko, Orongbunham, Garner, then Roll in midfield with Endai, Dewsbury Hall, or Barry. And then for Spurs, you got Kingsley, Porro, Danzo, Van der Ven, Ugagi, Polina, Bentancur, Jed Spence, Conor Gallagher, Tell, or Richarlison.
Who was the Tottenham player then that didn't play last game of the season? There was that whole thing that he was going to go to Brazil to watch the
Romero.
Romero.
Oh, Romero.
Yeah, he did. He did go. He did eventually go to the match, I think.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that puts, after that great round by Al, that puts him on 2. Puts me. I'm on 4, obviously, and Sam's on 11.
Oh, fuck. Call it now. Call it now, Chris.
Thanks, Al. Normally it's me that does the bad
Fucking
reverse.
Crystal Palace. Come on.
Dear God,
I've got 10 questions about the Premier League season that we just had.
Okay.
Which
Let's
team
go.
had the most red cards?
Tottenham.
Leeds.
Nope. I'll give you another go each.
West Ham.
Nope.
Man United.
Nope. It was Chelsea.
Chelsea, of course. They were getting a player sent off every other week, weren't they? Of course.
Okay. So, which ground saw the most goals?
That's a great question.
I'm going to go with the Hill Dickinson Stadium.
Nope.
Etihad.
Nope. Give you another go each.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Nope.
St James's Park.
It was St James's Park.
Just
Not in the right net.
Well, it's like both nets, isn't it? Okay. Which team scored the most goals, 10, after 90 minutes?
Liverpool.
Yep.
Cheating.
Well done.
Which player took the most corners?
Oh, God, what a stat.
110 corners.
What, for that player?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Nope.
Chris, what are you saying? He was injured. Fernandez.
No, it's an Everton player. I'll give you another guess each.
Dewsbury Hall.
No.
No.
Everton player. Let's go with. Garner.
It is Garner.
Well done. Good shout. It's pulling this one back.
Okay. Which player completed the most passes?
Virgil van Dijk.
It is Van Dijk.
Across.
Okay, so I'll go with a gamble on this one. 13 players missed a penalty. How many of those players do you think you can name?
Oh my gosh. Who are you going with first?
Oh no, I was going to do like
Tennis one.
or it's a gamble as in how many,
13.
Yeah.
Who is it, me or Al to go first?
Oh no, as in like how many do you think you can name?
Yeah. Who do you want us to pick first to put the first bet in?
Well, you can go first then.
Go with 7.
7?
Yeah.
Go for it. I'm starting with 1.
Haaland.
Yes.
Mohamed Salah.
No, I'm not seeing him there.
What? I meant 1. Sorry, I meant 1.
Fernandez.
Yeah.
Yes. That was the only player I wrote down.
You could have had Fernandez missed twice, Welbeck missed twice, Kevin Schade, Erling Haaland, Anton Semenyo, Igor Thiago. Yeah, there's that. Nemecha for Leeds, Strand Larsen, Enzo Lafay, Dominic Szoboszlai, some Wolves player who I don't know who he is. Calvert-Lewin and Cole Palmer.
I would have probably only got another
7
one.
of them, Chris.
I thought I was being confident, but
if I'd have said 1 and you'd have said 2, I'd have gone, you go for it.
Yeah.
Gotta be brave, mate. Gotta be brave.
Okay. Which team travelled the least distance to fulfill their fixtures this season? As in all their total mileage of all their fixtures.
Ooh, that's a good one. Aston Villa.
Yeah.
I thought it was someone in the Midlands, yeah. They're more Forest, I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Which player had the most touches this season?
Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Sideways passing.
Gardner, sorry.
Yeah. I'll give you another go. It's central midfield player.
Fernandez.
No.
Central midfield. Declan Rice?
No, it's Elliot Anderson.
Oh,
3,300 touches.
wow. Wowie.
I love that someone's been counting that.
Yeah.
I know.
What a job. Get the abacus out.
Which team had used the most players? 32 players.
Chelsea.
Nope.
Man City.
Nope. I'll give you another go each.
Is this just Premier League?
Yeah. Not Wolves, no.
No.
Sunderland.
We're West Ham.
Was it 32 plays?
And then final question. God, I can't read it. Okay. Which team conceded the most goals from outside the box? 13 goals.
Man City.
Nope.
That's unlucky though for a start. Whoever's conceded that many goals from outside the box. I'll go with Palace.
I'll give you another go each.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Man United.
Spurs.
Oh.
So that's
I was either West Ham or Spurs, and I thought
4-2 to Al there.
4-2. So overall, that's put me and Al level on 6 and Sam on 11. So we've got the random question, which is, I've done 10 random things from the this year over the leagues. So I've said mediums to difficult. So let's see whether we can get these sorted. Okay, so question 1. Villa made history in May by capturing the first ever Europa League. Which German team did they defeat 3-0 in the final in Istanbul? So who did they play in the final? Okay, I'm done. Are you done?
Yep.
And we'll start with me. Are you good to go, Sam?
I can't think of it, to be honest.
Okay.
On
Freiburg.
Freiburg.
Yeah. And the answer is Freiburg. Well done. So me and you have both got one. Which Italian team won their final match 2-0 against Parma to officially secure the Scudetto with 3 games to spare?
Got it.
You got it, Sam?
I think so.
Okay. What have you gone with?
Inter.
Inter Milan. Have you gone Inter?
Inter.
Yeah.
I've gone Inter as well. You can see somewhere there. Inter. And the answer is Inter Milan. Okay, so point on for us all. Striker Jean-Pierre Mateta scored the historic winning goal in Leipzig to guide Crystal Palace to the first ever trophy. Which European competition did they win? And we literally spoke about it, so we should all get this right.
Champions League, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Maybe next year. Or it'll be the year after. Sam.
Conference League.
Conference, and it's a full house again. Well done.
100% here, Chris.
We're putting pressure on him here, mate. Putting pressure on him. 3 out of 3. Which player made Premier League history this season by becoming the first player to score a hat-trick in the North London derby?
Got it.
Oh, you're putting pressure here now. Okay, I think I've got it here.
Eze
as well, yeah. All 3 of us. It's almost like Al's gave us a chance, and now he's firing on all cylinders. Okay, question 5. These are apparently the hard questions. Paris Saint-Germain won the men's Champions League final after a tense 1-1 draw. Which player missed the 5th and final penalty to help PSG win the trophy for Arsenal? I can't remember his bloody name now. Oh, that's embarrassing. I can't remember his name. I bloody well spoke about him, didn't I? Oh, okay. I can't remember. Go on, you two.
I think I've got the wrong one. I'll put Gabriel.
Gabriel,
yeah. Well done.
can't remember if it was him or the other centre back.
I kept on thinking Saliba, but it's not. Gabriel, well done. Okay, while Paris Saint-Germain ruled the men's side, which dominant Spanish club swept European football basically, which Spanish team won the women's version of the Champions League, beating Lyon 4-0 in Oslo? Okie doke.
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah.
Best.
The answer is Barcelona. I was on 100% on this round. In Italy's top flight, which surprise package shocked everyone by finishing in the top 4 alongside Italy, Napoli, and Roma, and made the Champions League for the first time? Como, I've gone
Como.
with.
Como over.
Yeah, me and Sam's favourite haircut. The Como over. Okay, and the answer was Como. That's a surprise. Bayern Munich enjoyed an incredibly dominant domestic run under Company that broke an all-time European record by winning the first 13 consecutive matches of the Bundesliga season. Whose record did they beat?
What, across Europe?
European record. So it's another club in Europe.
13. The first 13 games.
Yeah.
That's difficult, that one, isn't it? That's one of my
It is.
I get
We're
wrong.
on a difficult one now. Okay. I've got my answer.
Yeah.
I've gone because they've won it so many times in the past as well. I've gone with Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on PSG.
I guess Real as well.
Yeah, me and Sam got a point.
Mate.
So at the moment, me and you are on 13 now, and Sam's on 18. Crystal Palace's incredible run was nearly derailed by one club of the biggest giant killings of the season in domestic cup. Which non-league club shocked Palace out of the FA Cup this year? So who beat Palace in the FA Cup? Okay, I've got my one.
Yes.
What about you, Sam? Can you remember?
Yes. Blank.
I'm going Macclesfield.
Barrow.
Macclesfield it is. Last one on this round. In the newly expanded Champions League format, Paris Saint-Germain's scoring goals was a common theme. Exactly how many Champions League goals did PSG score on their entire journey to lifting the trophy in Budapest? So the total amount of Champions League goals they scored. We'll do the point to the closest one, yeah, because I don't think any of us are going to get it on. Okay. I'll go first then. 62.
I went a lot lower. I went 36.
45.
So, drum roll. 44. Sam. Bloody hell. So the end of that round, I was on 13. I'm on 14. And Sam, you're on 19. Because we've done an extra long episode, I think we'll give a miss to winner stays on and just go straight to master.
Put all me working.
Oh, go on.
I've got it stored.
You got it stored for next week. Yeah, for next week. So,
Mastermind. Questions for you, Chris?
Are we doing me first or you?
Oh, I could do me first.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm in last place, aren't I?
What do you want? A, B, or C?
A.
Pack? Are you sure with that? Oh, you
Yeah.
beauty. Are you ready to put on your timer there, Sam, and if you don't
Yep.
mind counting how many questions he gets right.
All right. When you're ready.
Okay, so here we go then now. 3, 2, 1. Which country won the 2023 Women's World Cup?
England?
Unlucky. What? Yeah, do you want to go again?
No.
What's the maximum amount of substitutes you can make in a match?
5.
Correct. Which team plays their home matches at Anfield?
Liverpool.
Correct. Which team traditionally wears pink and as their home colours in Italy?
Pass.
Which German club is famous for the fierce Der Klassiker rivalry with Bayern Munich?
Borussia Dortmund.
Correct. Which country did Didier Drogba represent?
Ghana.
Okay. Which club did Pep manage before Man City?
Barcelona. No, fuck Bayern Munich.
Correct. Which club did Ronaldo join from Real Madrid?
Man United.
Unlucky.
From Real Madrid. Oh,
Oh.
sorry. Yeah.
So,
Got 4.
how many did he get right? 4?
4.
I'll go through them. So, which club won the 2023? It was Spain.
Yeah,
It'd be-
Spain.
And then obviously you got the substitutions right. You got Anfield right. Italian club Palermo,
Palermo.
and the German club rival with Bayern. What did you
Dortmund,
say?
got that.
Dortmund.
Yeah.
Got that one correct. Drogba was Ivory Coast.
Coast.
The pressure, you see, it's the pressure. And then Pep was Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich. Yeah.
And Ronaldo was Juventus.
Yeah.
So have you got my questions there then?
Yep.
So
You ready?
yep, go for it.
Question 1. Who won the first ever European Cup?
Celtic.
No. Question 2. The only keeper to win the Ballon d'Or?
Lev Rizzo.
Yep. Question 3. Who scored the winning goal for Man United in the European Cup final in 1999?
Paddy Sheringham.
No. Question 4. Ronaldo started at which Portuguese club?
Sporting Lisbon.
Correct. Question 5. Who did Haaland play for before Man City?
Borussia Dortmund.
Correct. Question 6. Ajax play in which country?
Holland.
Question 7. Which club has the most Premier League titles?
Man United.
Correct. Question. Who is negotiating to be the next Man City manager?
Enzo Maresco.
Correct. And question 8. Who did Anthony Gordon recently sign for?
Barcelona.
And finally, who won the Serie A this season?
Inter Milan.
Correct. That's all 10 questions, I'm afraid.
Got
1,
8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8. Well done.
And I picked flipping Sheringham instead of
Yes,
Solskjaer.
Solskjaer.
Oh, as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, you div. Right. I've got questions for Sam. If you want, do you want to? So I've either got B or C for Sam. What do you want, mate?
B.
B. Okay. So as the score stand, I was on 17. I'm on 22. Sam, you're on 19. So you need.
Oof.
So you want going for B, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready there, Al?
Sorry, bear with me.
Yeah.
How many did Sam need to win?
3. There's a bit of
Right.
pressure on this one.
Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Which team is nicknamed the Gunners?
Arsenal.
Who shares their stadium with Inter Milan?
AC Milan.
Correct. Which stadium was nicknamed the Theatre of Dreams?
Old Trafford.
What was Man City's original stadium called?
Main Road.
Correct. Which Spanish city is home to Betis and Sevilla?
Dunno.
Which country did Padanka play for?
Dunno.
Which team won Euro 2020?
Spain.
Oh, okay. Who plays their home matches at Parc des Princes?
Paris Saint-Germain.
Correct. Who was the only player to ever score a hat-trick for Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League and England national team?
Harry Kane.
Correct. Which team did Chelsea defeat on penalties in the Champions League in 2012?
Bayern Munich.
Correct.
Okay, that's what's time, and it's 7.
7. Wow. Well, that's one of the most biggest wins anyway that we had. But yeah, so you got 32 greens was correct. So which Spanish city? That was Seville. Which country did Padenka play for? Do you know that, Al?
Padenka. It was a South American team, wasn't it?
It was Czech Republic, actually.
Oh, okay.
And which team won Euro 2020? That was Italy. So final scores on the doors. Al on 17, me on 22. Sam, winner again on 26. Well done, Sam. Before we go, any funny transfer stories out, or is it still a bit quiet at the moment?
There's been a few. So Canate off to Real Madrid, apparently. Szoboszlai, apparently, if they cannot sign him down to a new contract because he's got 2 years left, they are going to sell him this summer.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So I've heard. Anyway, so I've heard. You know,
yeah, of course. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
We've not had many completed transfers. Obviously, we've had Anthony Gordon to Barcelona.
That's a crazy one to start off with, but there we go.
And we've also had the new player to Edison to Man United. Completed now as well. I don't think I've got really any others that are of any exciting interest at the moment. Oh, there was Harry Kane apparently to Barcelona at one point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's just a rumor.
Brilliant. That's good. So yeah, that's an extra and massive episode today of Footy and That. So if you want to subscribe, please like and subscribe, or if you're watching on Spotify, email us with any queries at footienthat@gmail.com. And next week we'll probably be featuring. Do you want to do a bit of a feature on the World Cup as we're starting off?
When does the World Cup start?
A week tomorrow, I think.
So yeah, we could maybe put our predictions in.
Oh yeah, exactly. Put our predictions in, do a quick preview, and then maybe a World Cup special, World Cup special quiz as well. See if we can make it really hard for Sam this time. So, and do loads of stuff on Palace players in the World Cup. That might get your knowledge a bit better there, Al. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot.
Thank
See you next week.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.